So TVNZ has announced the proposal for more cuts. This time the One News website looks like it's on the chopping block, and they want the feedback from staff, but that usually means it's going to go. We just have to give you the feedback because, well, feedback is part of the law. 2 weeks later, they suddenly will confirm the decision. That's largely what happens. So they want to save money, up to $30 million, huge amount of money, and the website clearly obviously takes up a lot of that. That's how we get our news these days, through websites. Or is it? Because I would have thought this was the last thing that would be cut, a news website. This is what we're told was the future. Mark Jennings, the former boss of TV3 News Hub, is with us now. Mark, g'day, nice to have you on.
Yeah, hi Duncan.
This is the sort of thing you and I would have been fist pumping about in recent years gone by. Not TVNZ in sort of turmoil, but not now. It's not good news. Not good news, is it?
No, and the interesting thing here, though, is that scrapping One News's website and its app isn't going to save $30 million. So there's got to be more to this at some point, I think.
Yeah, what worries me though, and we always used to just do broadcast news. We'll worry about the website later when they say it will come. And the website came, and the websites have been here for some time now. And this is the future. This is how people get their news. It's digital. It's in your hand. I would have thought it's a very strange decision to. It's very strange, and as you say, this might be something else to it. But strange decision to cut the web, to cut the internet, to cut the fact that this thing is on its own site, One News website, which has got better in recent years. And it's quite good.
Yes, and it's doing nearly 1 million unique impressions a month, so it's quite considerable, really. I understand that they're going to put news on their TVNZ Plus digital platform, but that appears to be only video. So really, they're getting out of text-based news. And so the digital team essentially will probably go and they'll make a saving there. But it does, to give up 1 million impressions a month is kind of does seem hard to work out. I mean, one thing that has happened is that since News Hub's gone, a lot of eyeballs came on the market. But One News didn't really get many of them. RNZ stuff in the Herald and other sites like us, etc., seem to pick that up. I don't know why One News didn't really get its share of the increase. And so maybe that has something to do with it too. They don't like the performance of that site.
Yeah, as you say, I mean, maybe they was the smart followers of those other ones, but maybe at 1 million impressions a month, you've got something that's economically viable there anyway. I mean, can we buy it for $1 and carry it on? I mean, an audience of 1 million people a month, that's saleable to an audience and to advertisers, surely.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, and you have to wonder, why I haven't been able to sell that better. I mean, the costs of running these sites, there's a bit, but then it's not through the roof or anything. And, you expect a news service to have a major web presence. So it's really a bit of a blow and a downgrade for One News, if you look at it that way.
I find it baffling because, as you say, you'd expect a broadcast news to have a complementary service, which is the written word, and we have done for the last 15 years, right? So 15, maybe 20 years. It's been a given. And to exit it now means that you're going to be dumping written word journalists. So there'll be a whole bunch of journalists. There'll be a whole team there that are likely to either be moved somewhere else or they'll be gone because they need to save money. So I can't see how they'll be kept on.
Yes, but they will probably be the lowest paid people in the business. I mean, they won't be amongst the, 54 people that are earning 200,000 plus, or the 7 or so that are earning $500,000 or more. These will be people that are down on the, 65 to 70,000 mark. So the savings won't necessarily be in the order that they need for this 30 million saving, and they probably actually need to save more than 30 million. Their result came out, I think, in April, where they had their operating profit was down 30 million. So this loss will be getting bigger, and now they're going to have more consultation. It won't be implemented before the end of the year. and then there'll be redundancy costs on top of that. It just looks to me like, management's really struggling here.
They have done a shabby job of this, Mark, because they have already had one go at this, and now they're having another go. They didn't do the job properly the first time, so they've come back for a second lick, and that means they've had about 2 years of bad press over it by the time it finishes. It's ridiculous. Do it once, do it well. Well, why keep dragging this out like the way they do?
Yes. Yeah, no, totally right. And when you do these things, you've got to get ahead of the curve. You've got to go further than you want to, but you've got to get in front. If you don't do it, significantly, you stay behind, and then you just have to keep going, and it's this death by 1,000 cuts that arrives on your doorstep. And as you say, not to mention the bad publicity that just gets drawn out and out over time, and that just kills morale in places. The only lucky thing they've got going is that Warner Brothers have really collapsed TV3. So if they were actually in a stronger position now, TVNZ would be in real trouble. But they're not. Their news service is, a budget operation supplied by Stuff. So, yeah, it could be worse for TVNZ than it actually is if it had a significant competitor.
It's a shame that they couldn't hang on at 3 because of the News Hub website. I thought was really good, had really come into its own. And if you'd kept the News Hub website along with the 3 News, after 30 odd years, you waited for a time like this, and it could have pounced. It could have really pounced. And One News will know this too. One News will know that there's not much chop across the way.
No, that's right. And TVNZ has the luxury now of not having a strong competitor, so it can probably make cuts to news without the same potential losses that it would have had if News Hub or 3 News had been a strong operator. It's a bit of a pity, really. But Duncan, the whole free-to-air business, is really struggling, and TVNZ is going to need to do more than just chop out One News and its app. It talks about making some changes to roster patterns, creating a centre for data analytics and AI and stuff. But these don't sound like $30 million savings to me.
What would you do, Mark? Well, firstly, what's the state of? I'll give you time to think about that question. What's the state of news in New Zealand right now? We've lived through some very good days, obviously, but now it just seems to me you wake up every day and you wonder where the next cuts are coming from. Either it be in the media or the public service. It just seems to be with a whole wider question around the New Zealand economy of just contraction, which is not the same as an Aussie, and I just the state of the media. Where are we at?
Yeah, I think we are in a real existential crisis, really.